Spearfishing is one of those rare activities that pulls your mind and body completely into the present. It's moments like these that I'm always searching for. Adventures that force me to be present. The ocean has a way of making that happen. It's beautiful, calm, and serene, but also powerful and exhilarating. It demands your full attention. This week on Chasing Passion, we venture into the depths with spearfishing guide, conservationist, freediver, and good friend, Captain Tony Young. Along with my good friend and fellow filmmaker, Austin, we join Tony as he takes us on an unforgettable journey, showing us how he chases his passion. The mission? Find some fish for dinner that Tony will freedive over 100 feet to find. Along the way, we learn about his passion for freediving and his passion for the conservation efforts to protect this place he calls home. I will even set down the camera and try my hand at freediving to secure a fish for dinner. Join us on this adventure as we discover what it means to chase your passion. My name is Josh Bodkin. I'm a professional filmmaker and photographer with a love for adventure. I found myself searching for something more. Now, I'm embarking on a new journey to create a series of my own that captures what truly inspires me. Throughout my journeys, I've discovered that it's not just about the places I get to see, but it's the people I meet along the way and the stories they have to tell. Through their stories, I'm rediscovering what it truly means to live a life full of purpose. Come along as I travel the world, meeting these extraordinary people who have dared to chase their passion. My passion is telling their stories. Join me in the search for what it means to take that leap, to pursue your own passion, and to embrace the adventure that awaits. This is Chasing Passion. Our journey begins in Sarasota, Florida. We load up the truck with everything we think we'll need to capture this adventure and hit the road. It's about a 5-hour drive across the state to reach our destination in the Florida Keys. The journey takes us across Alligator Alley, a road that cuts directly through the state of Florida just above the Everglades National Park, a unique and vital ecosystem. Everglades National Park is the largest subtropical wilderness in the United States and covers approximately 1.5 million acres. In traditional South Florida fashion, we are met with an afternoon thunderstorm that rolls across the state almost religiously the same time every day during the summer months. Finally, turquoise road barriers signal our arrival to the Keys, the unofficial welcome sign. The Keys are home to the Florida Reef, the only coral barrier reef in the continental United States, and the third largest barrier reef in the world. This reef system spans 360 linear miles and provides critical habitats for marine life. We settle in for the night, preparing for an early start in the morning. 5:30 a.m., we meet Tony on the docks. This is a man who likely spends more time beneath the water than most of us do on it. For him, freediving and spearfishing are more than just a job, they're a way of life. We've known each other for about 4 years. I first met him when he took us out on a charter with my brother-in-law, and we've stayed in touch thanks to social media and our mutual love for the ocean.
We just spent a lot of time in the water today, and we got some storms that we got to kind of navigate around, so yeah. We'll adjust with them, but it's going to be a fun day for sure.
Heck yeah, I'm pumped, man. It's been a while since I've been out on the water and actually gotten in the water. Like, I kind of stopped doing fishing filming for a little bit because I was like so burnt out from being on the water all day, every day. I'm pumped to be out on the water.
You're going to be immersed in it.
Yeah.
And it's really nice when we get the chum incorporated and we just relax and we just chill, and you kind of just like let the ocean come to life, and then we'll be selective on what we want to shoot and just hit a couple spots like that.
We load the gear onto the boat, and I give Tony a Vair dive watch, this episode's sponsor, who helped make this film possible. With the sun cresting the horizon, we push off from the dock, ready for a day on the water.
Fun running back through this way on the way out because, you know, like everything that we do in the Keys, like all of our fish that we target on spear and fishing, that all, like, their whole life cycle starts back in these mangroves, and it's often something that a lot of visitors don't get to see, but this is one of the most important parts of the Florida Keys.
That's where it all begins.
Yep.
Within minutes, Captain Tony proves his passion for the environment, educating us about the Back Bay and the vital ecosystem it sustains. Tony is here not only because he's passionate about freediving, but because he's deeply invested in the environment he works in every day. Conservation is a part of his lifestyle. This is a common trend that I've noticed with people who live close to nature. It's impossible not to form a connection and a deep sense of responsibility for the world around you when you spend so much time in it. Today, Tony's taken us to a few of his favorite spots. Only a few miles offshore, along the Florida Reef that stretches the length of the Keys. Our first stop is in about 40 feet of water. Tony tosses some chum in the water to start the chain reaction with the smaller fish. He then takes a swig of pickle juice, some sort of strange freediving ritual of sorts. We gear up for our first dive. Tony grabs his spear gun, and we prep our cameras in their underwater housings. My heart is pounding with excitement. Diving into the ocean with only your breath is like discovering an entirely new world. Growing up around the water, I've always felt drawn to it, especially when you consider how little we truly know about the vast oceans. We work to slow our heart rates, following Tony's advice on staying calm and relaxed underwater to maximize our breath hold time. We jump in, the water crystal clear down to the 40-foot bottom. Tony takes a few deep breaths and descends down to explore the ocean's floor. This is what it's all about, placing myself in situations that demand I be fully present. Watching Tony move effortlessly underwater, you can see this is where he thrives. He glides across the surface, then takes a deep breath, swimming down 80 feet to observe the underwater world in complete stillness.
There is a point when you're diving and you're honed in, focused on a fish, like nothing else really matters. There's like a point where you're not diving down, you're not coming up, and you're just about to pull the trigger, and that's like complete peace in my opinion. And sometimes I don't pull the trigger. Sometimes I pull the gun back. Like on our last spot, there was one snapper that was definitely a nice shootable fish, but I was like, just kind of enjoy that second with him, you know? So then leave him on his way and come back up. At the end of the day, I think if everybody ate locally and kind of lived within their means of what they needed, I think we'd be in really great shape. but when you're spending as much time in the ocean as we do, whether we're guiding or doing it, just for ourselves or with our family and friends, you kind of build a really special appreciation for the ocean and for the reefs, and you can see it change for the good and for the bad over time. So for me, spearfishing is really fun because the highlight is not necessarily harvesting the fish. There's so much more about it that embodies the spearfishing. It's the interaction in the water. It's, you have sea turtles come up. We had 2 sharks on our last spot that we hung out with for a little bit. So you don't really have to harvest fish to enjoy the experience. So the water is a little bit cleaner here, and we are a tad deeper than our last spot, but I really am hoping to get us on or a nice mutton snapper. Those are my 2 favorite. A nice mutton snapper for me is that's like the dream fish. I love that. Make some ceviche. But yeah, the water's nice and clean here, so I think it'll be good. We can see a little bit better. And, as you can see, there's plenty of fish coming up already.
At the next spot, we anchor up in over 80 feet of water. Here, the water is too deep for Austin and I to reach the bottom, so we dive down as far as we can, trying to keep up with Tony. This spot delivers. Tony dives deep and spots a fish he can't pass up. A rare dog snapper, a species he's only seen a handful of times in this area. You can see the excitement on everyone's face, along with a sense of respect and appreciation for the ocean for providing us with this fish. The excitement of shooting our first fish for dinner is soon followed by the curiosity of a bull shark checking out the commotion. Tony senses the shark's energy isn't right and signals us back to the boat. We don't need to be told twice.
Well, there's like one short one, but there's 2 legal ones, and I was thinking about it, but then, you kind of get to that point, it's like, we'll be out here a couple more hours. Do we really need to take, something that's just barely legal? And then that larger one showed himself in the back. So I worked towards him, and I don't know, for some reason something was off and he spooked off before I could get to him. I did have a shot at him, but it wasn't something that I think would stick real well. Yeah. So, but it all worked out perfect in the end.
Talk about that dog snapper. Like you said, you don't see those too often.
Yeah. Well, I mean, before we were talking about my snapper just in general is some of my favorite, but then mutton snapper is always my target goal when we're coming out here. And when I dove down, I saw those barely legal grouper that we could have shot, and a mutton in the distance, and all of a sudden I see this flash of silver. So I swim over to it. I think he saw me swim a little faster, and he kind of comes at me, and I see that teardrop, and I'm like, that's a dog snapper. So one more fin kick, extended my gun out, got a good shot. I got him real good. It's that's, for us in the Keys, that doesn't happen very often to get a nice dog snapper. That's something we get in the Caribbean or other parts of the Caribbean, the Bahamas.
I feel like I hear it in the Bahamas all the time.
Yeah.
Those guys
It's maybe one every 2 or 3 years, I'll have the opportunity to shoot a dog snapper in the Keys. So that, awesome. That is that's better than any mutton snapper for me.
Well, I'm glad we got it on film too.
Yeah,
that's sick. And that was a pretty looking fish too. When you got it up to the surface, those colors changed a bunch and we got them up close.
Orange and the teardrop on them. And then the shark came right afterwards. Did one more dive and saw those groupers again. I was looking for that bigger one, and I'm just working the bottom, and I just see this shadow coming straight towards me. I think you were at that point
right above you,
just above
just swimming down.
Just swimming down, and I'm like, oh. He's coming in full speed. Back was arched up, his pec fins were out, so right there, it's all right, he's definitely coming in towards me. So just pointed my gun out at him a little bit and just made a little bit of noise and held my ground, and he just took off rope.
And then he came and looked at us again,
Yeah, then
up
he was
on the
on the
surface
surface.
a little bit.
That's fun though. That's their home. So
Yeah, exactly.
that's like a full interaction, and his energy was a little tough, so we were gonna come back in, and then he left, so we did a couple more dives and go do something different.
I love that. I love you said his energy. Like you can kind of like you have a sense now of like, all right, that shark's chilling, that shark's a little bit.
Yeah, in the begining he was definitely off. He was
Yeah.
a little aggressive, and then he just kind of realizes like, oh, they're doing their thing, I'll do my thing.
Yeah.
He didn't bother us the rest of the time.
I love that. Talk about like I was kind of watching you a little bit, and like you say like, all right, I'm good to go. What are the breath work before you do that like first dive? So you like say, all right, I'm ready to go, and then you kind of just like chill and just get as calm as possible.
Yeah, just relax. I think that's part of the best part about freediving for me is just that you're just on the surface and you're breathing up and you're trying to get your heart rate down. You're just relaxing, and it's kind of almost like a sense of meditation. I think over the course of your life, if you free dive or do stuff like this, it's just very good for your health in general. But yeah, I just check in with you. You're my dive buddy, and you give me, yep, I'm good. Know that you're watching me, and I take a nice big breath and slowly enter the water, and it's just kind of like a routine to get down and feel comfortable. Yeah. And I never try to beat records or push things. It's just like as long as I'm having fun on the dive, that's all that matters.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So we're going to go check out some more shallow stuff now.
Yeah,
some stuff that Austin and I can actually.
Yeah, I think we'll go in. I think we were in like 70, 75 feet here. Yeah. But once we work in shallower, we'll get some opportunities on some spiny lobster.
Cool.
And maybe some mangrove snapper. We also get the red grouper in there too. So those are kind of the species that we're looking for lobster, but we might see some.
What about hogfish? You see hogfish in the shallow?
Hogfish, yes, but they're kind of a trickier fish when the water's warm like this. We generally see them like much out deeper.
Okay, gotcha.
But you never know.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. On to the next spot. Let's do it.
Let's go. First lobster. So about 4 years ago now we were spearfishing.
Yeah.
So this is an area that's kind of close to that last spot. So this is a spot we can get in and
Good spot for beginners.
Yeah, let you take the ropes a little bit, and
yeah.
There's another little section, a little hole back here. That sometimes we get some larger fish that stack up in there, so we'll check that.
Cool.
So, and also this is an area where we might see some lobster. So it's kind of fun. 20-25 feet. It's a lot shallower than what we've been doing. And
cool. Want to see if the camera guys can get some fish?
You got it.
We know Austin can. Austin's got it.
As I think about my own passion for documenting these stories of people doing extraordinary things, I always try to see the world from their perspective. So what better way to understand Tony than to set down my camera and pick up the spear gun for myself? As I dive down, I remember Tony's advice. Slow my breathing, slow my heart rate, and stay relaxed. Here, in this moment, there's nothing else. This is why I believe everyone needs something that brings them fully into the present. A passion to chase that demands their whole focus. My first shot is at a mangrove snapper, and I miss. After 4 years away from spearfishing, it feels like starting fresh. Luckily, Tony gives us a few more chances to make sure we don't go hungry. While I struggle, Tony shows us why he's the pro, diving over 100 feet to bring back more fish for dinner. Finally, I get another chance and I shoot my first lionfish. These invasive fish are perfect for harvesting because they disrupt the local ecosystem, and they're delicious. Their calm nature means I can get close enough not to miss this time. Austin soon follows suit, securing another lionfish for our meal. With the cooler filled, thanks mostly to Tony, we've got enough food for dinner. We head back to the dock, feeling that post-adventure high. Salt on our skin, sunburnt faces, and salty lips making that beer in my hand taste that much better. We get back to the dock and unload the gear. Austin is already passed out in the hammock after a long day. Tony cleans the fish and prepares one of the best meals I've had in a very long time. As we prep for dinner, Tony reminds us of the carbon footprint that we all have on this earth, and that how we get our food is one of the biggest effects on the environment. Our meal today was harvested only a few miles away from this dock where we'll eat it.
Just be real careful.
It only took a few gallons of fuel to feed all of us, and we have a few leftovers to bring home to our family. Where you get your food from is so important. If you can try and eat locally and well-sourced food, that will significantly decrease our impact that we have on the environment. This is a good reminder to myself that I should eat more seafood. Living in Florida, it not only lowers my carbon footprint, but it also gives me a chance to support local fishermen. Moments like these are special. I'm full of appreciation for good friends, good food, and unforgettable memories in nature. Chasing passion isn't about an end destination. It's about getting out there and experiencing life. Thanks for watching this episode of Chasing Passion. I'll be releasing new episodes every other week, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe and join in on the journey.
Yeah. Any shout outs? Cool, man.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad.
Yeah.
For always kicking me in the ass.
Yeah. That's it, man.
Cheers.
Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate it, Josh. It's
That
been
was
a heck
awesome,
of a day.
dude. That was a sweet day.